Welcome. I forgot to turn off my light. I'll be right back. There we go. That's better. I forgot it is, in fact, Spooktober. Or October, as the rest of the world knows it. I actually forget where I picked up the name Spooktober from. But what a day for some demos. Sadly, they don't have looping music on this demo screen. Although it would appear this has been in development for a little bit of time. As you awaken in a cold sweat, disoriented, and surrounded by the remnants of a shattered reality, a chilling sense of dread washes over you. The room you find yourself in is dilapidated, covered in layers of dust and decay. The sound of I guess we didn't get a chance to fully read that out loud to everybody. You think you'd put the loading screen there? Hide the loading screen? There we go. That's a reasonable amount of mouse acceleration. The G key. Why it's not F, I don't know. Yeah, it's not F because, Okay, we have to double tap to open doors. And we have to save battery. Oh boy. That's just us. Two ways to go. Recently, many suicides have occurred more frequently, for reasons such as debt, addiction, and heartbreak. Recently, there was a typical case. On January 13th, 2009, an extremely barbaric suicide. The cause of the incident is still being investigated by the police force. The victim was a woman. Okay. Locked. It's definitely got the abandoned place vibes down. Hopefully I'm not walking past batteries. Doesn't seem like, although this is a really tall desk. Like, I'm assuming we're average height. This desk is nearly up to a person's shoulders. That's a really tall desk. Brazil.
Oh, man.
Oh. That is never a good sign. Sealing talismans like this are always bad. Radio also needs a battery. Oh boy. Open cabinets or break wooden boards. Yeah, these are specific types of seals too. That's not a good sign at all. There's a battery. No? It's not a battery. Played too many games where fluorescent things are accurate. They've definitely got the atmosphere down, sound-wise. Sound-wise, this is absolutely off-putting. I don't recall there being anything way back here of importance. But maybe we just missed it. Because we didn't have the flashlight yet. No. No context button shows up. Okay. It has leans. Okay. Checking all the buttons. There we go. That's inventory. Again, we've not encountered anything, any batteries. Nor anything to break with boards. Gosh, that was an ugly seam until it rendered the mesh between the two. You'd think the game would have pointed us at something immediately to use that on. But it hasn't. Like, you'd normally put that like in here. Weird. And we're almost out of battery, too, on the flashlight. Like, scroll wheel's not doing anything. None of the number buttons are. Tried all the buttons. All we have is this menu. It allows us to touch, but the items button. Nothing about destroying anything shows up anywhere. Don't get me wrong, the atmosphere is very oppressive and very accurate. If this is what an indie studio can do nowadays, well, there's other games that show that as well. Maybe we'll get to show one of them, like the Unreal 5 demo. That's just a projector screen. We do have our leans, but we can't go from one lean to the other. This is No Fear. No. There's nothing over here. What an unusual design choice. To not be able to do anything? And there's a picnic table in here. But all there is this locked door. Nothing we can do anywhere else. Like, we've not seen any batteries. Unless I'm completely blind. Which, while I wouldn't put that past me, especially since they don't seem to be doing the highlighting of items, doesn't seem to be the case. And we're out of battery, meaning we can no longer see. Oh, except for maybe a few seconds. Hey, Marzimus. Huh. Just playing a indie horror game demo. Looks pretty good, I would say. The game, though very cryptic in what exactly we're supposed to do. I mean, we can make our way back here, but there's really not a reason to do it. Mysteries. You can walk into the pallet, dodge into it, but that's not. I think we're supposed to be able to destroy these pallets. But the game is not letting us? I'm getting very confused. Also, apparently we can just walk into these boxes. These cardboard boxes. Weird. The mouse buttons don't seem to be doing anything. In fact, most of the debris we can just walk over. And also, running out of battery does not seem to matter at this moment in time. So, okay, so that's just a light. The game gives claims about batteries existing. I've not seen any batteries, nor anything to destroy, despite giving us a crowbar. Yeah, there's no batteries. Nothing to open. Just this room of seals. That's all there was, and the crowbar. That's all there is. Yeah. Clearly there's something I'm missing. I've tried mouse buttons, I've tried all of our other buttons. If I try and reload the flashlight, it turns off. But it's infinite otherwise. C is crouch. I tried all my other buttons. Okay, so you can also play with arrow keys. Interesting. Alt does nothing. Checking all the esoteric keys. I've literally been everywhere and looked at everything. I'm either extremely blind or I just don't understand. Because I can try and use the radio, but it says it needs batteries. The only battery I have is the one in my flashlight. The game won't let me take out my infinite power battery. Okay. I am stumped. Was I supposed to find batteries? Are there batteries around somewhere? Am I just blind? Like, Like I said, I would not discount it, but I don't think I'm that blind. Okay, I can walk up this pallet. Not that that does me any good. Yeah, because that just clips me into the concrete pillar there, which they've not done a hitbox detection on. That's actually a pretty decent palette graphic. Especially for as close as we are. Not quite focusing on it, but... yeah, I've tried pretty much everything. And the game did give me a controls menu when launching, but that was it. Well, that's how to use crowbar. There's something in the discussions about how to use the crowbar, and it is automatically well, did I not look at this drawer? Did I not look at this drawer? Did I not? Because I swear I did. I swear I looked at this particular drawer. And it's just that drawer, and not these drawers. Why? There is no indication that it's this one drawer. It does not stand out at all. And there's the batteries. We now have 2 of them. There's no reason to use them. After all, the light doesn't run out. And very specific drawers, too. Like, there was no graphical difference between that. I see you. I don't like the fact
What the fuck?
I did not like that at all. I did not like that at all. I just reloaded my battery. Shoot. Infinite battery is now gone. God, that gave me a... Ooh, that gave me shivers up the spine. Okay, we're safe. We're safe for now. I think. Yeah, with no indicators at all, because every drawer looks like every drawer. I don't like that at all. But I get what they're going for. They're going for a very realistic look. But then you have to make every drawer lookable through in order to... because you never know what drawer is what.
Ma, theo dân gian truyền miệng, ma là những người dưới cỏ. là những người chết do nhiều cách khác nhau. Chết do treo cổ tự tử, chết hay bị sát hại, do kết thúc cuộc sống quá nhanh trái với suất non, nên quan hồn cứ bất vượng những nơi xung quanh khu vực bị giết mà tìm cách ám ảnh lôi kéo dụ dỗ.
That's not a ghost tradition I'm familiar with.
Ma được hình thành trong một khi người chết oan hoặc bị giết, hay có điều tức tưởi khiến họ muốn tự sát. Sau khi chết, họ sinh ra oán khí tích tụ. Vì vậy, nhiều người thấy ma thường
That's grudge noises. I did not need to hear that, thank you. That was not helpful in the slightest. I see you. Or should I say I saw you? Where'd you go? I did not close this door. Oh, there's a blood stain. That was definitely not there before. Don't do that, game. Please. Oh. I'm playing in the dark for a reason, and still bloody locked. Well, there's the key. Weird transparency texture there. Okay. Admittedly, this game does do a good job of building atmosphere. There are some problems with the smart locks. If someone wants to use or open the lock, please replace the fuse in the warehouse. Area manager. Oh, joy. We gotta replace some fuses. Many witnesses said they saw Miss N frequently enter this area, even though people were warned about the deterioration of infrastructure in the area. Miss N continued to return to that area. The reason why Miss N comes to this area is still a mystery. On the early morning of January 14th, a woman's body was found with a rope wrapped around her neck. The victim was identified as Miss TTKN. Born November September 28th, 1998. Victim's death is still unclear. I hate to say it. That's an 11-year-old. Like 1998 to 2009. That person was only 11. I want nothing to do with that. Whatever it is. I want nothing to do with you. You're walking? I can hear you. You can leave. You can leave. I cannot tell if it's getting closer. That's my own footsteps got me. I'm not enjoying this in the slightest. The atmosphere is really good. In this room. Oh God. I know I heard it patrolling. Okay, let's observe. What's its patrol pattern? Get around the far side of the room. Over to here. Quick light check. Does it know we're watching it? No crap, game. Oh boy. I don't even have to speak the language to know I don't want to get caught by that. Oh boy. Okay, keep an eye around the corner. And he cannot see me. I hope. Blood on the wall. I guess that connects through? That would explain why they're giving us so much time. Oh. God, just the very low droning music in the background just... Oh. I've mentioned I don't deal with horror that great. We're safe here. At least assuming I had fuses. Honestly, turning on a light would be a terrible decision. It's missing fuses. Of bloody course it is. Good Lord. Entity. Telling me that there are fuses around here that I'm supposed to find. Are you bloody kidding me? Okay. There's one fuse. I am... Oh... Found a fuse. His patrol appears to be erratic. His patrol appears to be erratic. I fail to understand that. And we gotta start back at the beginning. Well, that was annoying. Because the tension's now all gone. Okay. Well, I died trying to find the fuses, and the demo just restarts. Now the tension's all gone. At least for this section. Only ever saw the one fuse. Grab the batteries. Keep the flashlight alive. Yeah. Afro girl. That's a female model. Hair girl.
What the fuck?
I was hiding next to that pallet that I was used initially, and she just saw me.
Ma, theo dần dần
And then rushed up and killed me
Ma
in 2
là
hits.
những người dưới cỏ,
Um,
là những người chết
Don't
do nhiều
think
cách
there's
khác
anything you
nhau.
can do, because she was moving pretty
Do
fast.
chơi cổ tự tử, chết hay bị sát hại,
Um,
kết thúc cuộc sống quá nhanh trái với suy non.
let's see, my knowledge of ghosts. Is there a country where it specifically has to be done by hanging in order to cause a ghost?
Tương tự như chúng. Ma được hình thành trong một khi người chết oan hoặc bị giết.
I'm also not familiar with what language is being spoken.
Họ muốn tự sát. Sau khi chết, họ sinh ra oán khí, tích tụ. Vì vậy,
It's definitely one of the Far Eastern languages, but it could be anywhere from. It could be anywhere from Thailand up through Japan, but that doesn't sound Japanese to me. Definitely one of the countries where Buddhism. I think Buddhism? Confucianism, at least, has had an influence because of the talismans. Like, I swear that's... I want to say that's Japanese, but... It might be Vietnam. You know? Now that you've said that, that's triggering something I remember. That it might actually be Vietnam. Because I think Vietnamese folklore is specific about strangulation. I'm not sure if they do talismans or not. These might not be... Yeah. Come get me, entity. Yeah, all that tension's now gone. The tension's now all gone out of me. Whee! So this appears to be a... I don't want to say Outlast style game, because Outlast has actual mechanics.
Ma cái đéo gì vậy?
Get inside. Okay. We have 2 fuses to find. The one was simple. Yeah, it's probably Vietnamese folklore. And like I said, as soon as you brought up Vietnamese language pack being available, that just triggered something in my brain about Vietnamese folklore and ghosts. And I was thinking South Asiatic. South Asia. Southeast Asia. Don't get me wrong, it looks good and creates a lot of tension. The tension level is very appropriate. However, it's now gone. At least for me. The fact that the enemy has no discernible, repeatable pattern for her patrols... I mean, it's meant to keep things fresh, but... I'm not entirely convinced I like that. But that also means that there are no, at least in the demo, save points. I've never been overseas. I can say that. I've been out of the US before, but never overseas. Mainly because I have a problem with heights. I mean, I've got... Yeah, it's a fear of heights, but not of heights themselves. But it's that indescribable urge of, if I fell from here, that would suck. So, I've been up in a small plane before. And it was, it didn't last long. I have to find the other fuse, though, because one fuse is right there. Oh, that's something I could definitely not do. If I did skydiving, I would likely pass out on the way down. Okay, and this is as far as we got last time. Probably my literal bucket list. Because I'm not sure I'd survive. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, I don't do roller coasters either. I know what I think with roller coasters, it's specifically it's a control problem. I know it because I had the same thing with, and it's weirdly the things that it does trigger on. Ferries. I've been on a ferry a couple of times, and it's that up and down and no control over it at all. Just some reason just triggers that a visceral fear response in my gut. It's really weird. And I know roller coasters would be the exact same thing, because once you're in a coaster, I'm not sure I could even get myself to that point. Maybe? Because once you're in and strapped in and the ride's going, there is no stopping it. That might help break it. I am entirely sure. I'm entirely unsure. My brother, however, my brother and my sister both love roller coasters. And it's a problem that comes and goes, too. Like, the fear of heights only in, like, the last decade has intensified. But when I was younger, I went on giant Ferris wheels no problem, and there was no problem with the fear of heights then. So, it's one of those things that comes and goes. I gotta figure out where this other fuse is. I'd assume it's along that backside there. Somewhere. Because it's not over there. Yeah, I was hiding like right here and she saw me. But I'd been in that corner before, and she hadn't seen me. There's no fuse over here. I'm not seeing the fuse. Found it. Shit! Run! I can, in fact, run. I don't know what good this does me. No good. I was not expecting her to turn around and come that way. Yeah, there was... Once she sees you, there's literally nothing you can do. She can outrun you. Which makes the two-hit system kind of weird. Let's not lie. The fact that she two-hits you is kind of weird. Makes it kind of weird. Which means there has to be a way of evading at some point in the future. Otherwise that'd be a silly mechanic for you to have. Let me in. Well, we know that that ghost can't be the one who hanged herself in the second newspaper. She's too tall and... She's just too tall and too well developed to be 11 years old. So, can't be the 11-year-old who hung herself.
What the fuck?
And now we gotta listen to this again.
Ma, theo dân gian truyền miệng, ma là những người dưới cỏ ôm, là những người chết do nhiều cách khác nhau, chết do treo cổ tự tử, chết hay bị sát hại, do kết thúc cuộc sống quá nhân.
Though I must say, it's an oddly specific
Quan hồn cứ bất vượng những nơi
tradition that a ghost has to be done by
mà tìm cách ám ảnh lôi kéo dụ dỗ
by
người ta
hanging
tương tự như chúng.
or by suffocation. That's oddly specific.
Trong một khi người chết oan
And that's
hoặc bị giết
kind of weird.
hay có điều tức tưởi khiến họ muốn tự sát. Sau khi chết, họ sinh ra oán khí tích tụ. Vì vậy, nhiều người thấy ma thường
Though if I had to put into words what these sounds are, not just grudge noises, but I would also say that's more strangulation noises. If I had to put it any other way. Oh, you can actually catch up to her running and then she just disappears. Interesting. Wait, I've got 5 batteries? The other 2 batteries must have carried over somehow. That's weird. My 2 unused batteries must have carried over. This time round. Maybe it's because I was so fast? I don't know. That just seems weird. Run towards the ghost.
Ma cái đéo gì vậy?
It isn't even visible. And now we know where both fuses are. Crouch and hide. Oh, that is... That was... I will say...
Đau đầu quá. Ở thằng nào gọi vậy?
So far, it has been... It has done a great job of building tension. There it is. Yeah, I've got 5 batteries. So the batteries just accumulate. That is just highly strange and unusual. Unnatural or violent deaths. Generally understood, at least according to Wikipedia, that certain ghosts are people who've undergone non-natural, premature, painful, or violent deaths, especially people who die away from home. Souls that receive proper rituals, buried in good locations with a proper tombstone, will become ancestors. Those who are not will become ghosts and are thought to roam the countryside in hordes, stealing what they can along the way. Seen as supernatural equivalent of robbers, hungry ghosts, ma-jo. At least I'm assuming that's how that unusual D is pronounced. Not a lot in there. It's not a particularly populous article, but I suppose that makes as much sense as anything. Nothing in there about specifically about it needing to be strangulation. But violent and unnatural deaths, yeah. Especially away from home.
Đồ má.
game. Oh, I actually don't possess the battery item. Despite having 5 batteries. An unusual programming oversight. Nothing more, nothing less. But for a small team from Vietnam, okay, that's understandable. A very understandable programming oversight. I will say that. I won't hold that against them. It is... Yeah, it's going to be... This game is going to be released this month. Quack is the guy's name. Okay. Right, I was trying to look up the when making the logo for the stream. It was very hard finding information about who Shudder Studios or the development team were. Because as far as I can tell, Shudder Studios, the publisher, is a music publisher in yeah, 'cause if I visit their website, no, they do games. There are several games over here. Although I think, if I'm reading it correctly, it's supposed to be released on the 9th. Can I get Google Translate? Translate. Yeah, and that is it's in Vietnamese. Yep. It is definitely made in Vietnamese. That's what the publisher is in. September. Okay. So on the music publisher's website, which is weird, it says release date of September. How very odd. How very unusual. How very unusual. Stay still. Huh. How very unusual. How very odd. Yeah, Vietnamese development company.
What the fuck?
Likely, I would say that's the spoken language as well. That just makes sense.
Ma, theo dân gian truyền miệng, ma là những người dưới cỏ ông, là những người chết do nhiều cách khác nhau. Chết do treo cổ tự tử, chết hay bị sát hại, do kết thúc cuộc sống quá nhanh trái với suy non, nên quan hồn cứ bất vượng những nơi xung quanh khu vực bị giết, mà tìm cách ám ảnh, lôi kéo, dụ dỗ người ta tương tự như chúng. Ma được hình thành trong một khi người chết oan hoặc bị giết, hay có điều tức tưởi khiến họ muốn tự sát. Sau khi chết, họ sinh ra oán khí tích tụ. Vì vậy, nhiều người thấy ma thường
Alright, we'll give it one more shot.
Ma cái đéo gì.
Looking right at us. I'm thinking it's a proximity-based detection more than anything. Probably could have gone and grabbed it. Back here. Oh, hello. Yeah, it's a proximity based. It's not a line of sight. It is a physical, you are in her proximity, you're in her sensor zone. So, I guess what I can say, based on what little of the demo I've played, which granted is not a lot of the demo, and it might be just that short, or there might be more to it. It is unknown to me. Although, based on what I'm seeing, that's basically the entire demo. Is getting the fuse, and then some. So we were right at the end of the demo, more or less. And I will say, for an indie studio of, non-English speakers who are still learning the craft, and the atmosphere is beautiful. The game looks the part. It's got the tensions you'd expect. It sounds the part. The only issues are particularly a lack of I don't want to say hand-holding, because that's a word with so many bad connotations among certain groups in gaming. Direction, especially in this demo, like, there's no... It's very hard to figure out what you're supposed to do. The game does not guide you to these batteries. Of which we now have 9. However, the game will not let me reload my battery because I have battery. Weird.
What the fuck?
Yeah, the tension is good. The game looks good. On my extremely powerful PC, it runs beautifully. Like, running at a solid 60, 99th in the upper 50s. It's got the part, it's got the atmosphere. I'm just not entirely convinced about the whole back and forth and chasing section, or sections that likely will that'll be contained. There's potential here. The game looks good. There's a little bit of control jankiness. Like the fact that you can't go from leaning left to leaning right is a problem? Potentially. It's potentially a problem. Because Because that's something Fear, I think, did, is you could go from leaning left to leaning right. So that was a 2003? I think that's when Fear came out. Let's have a look. Because I own Fear. Let's see. Store page for Fear. It came out in 2005 on Steam. So Fear came out almost 2 decades ago. And it could do a lot of movement physics better. But yeah, the atmosphere is good. Nothing looks out of place other than this picnic bench. That's a bit weird. Maybe these prompts for using the F key stick around a little too long. That's about all I'd say is a control issue. Other than that, things control pretty well. Although I would say this over here, this giant blank void, that's kind of a missed opportunity. You know, kind of a missed opportunity to have anything be over there.
Ma cái đéo gì vậy?
So it's definitely doing a pretty good job of being a decent horror game. Though the enemy's detection of you, it's a little excessive. Shouldn't be able to detect us here. Though the fact that it wears heels is definitely very weird. So, in as far as I can tell, the game's not out yet. So I'd see what the actual reviews of the game when it comes out sometime this month actually say, assuming anyone actually reviews it. It might take it a little bit to get, you know, some blood flowing through the game. If it's anything like the other game that the developers, the music publishers, excuse me, have listed on their website, it's similar, likely. It seems to be of similar quality, visual-wise. You know. another Vietnamese-based horror game like this one. If it's anything like that, if this is anything like it, it's decent. Now, having said that, it looks good. The tension's good, but we'll see. Honestly, I'm intrigued enough. I'm gonna wishlist this and see what it's like review-wise when it comes out sometime this month. It has potential. And I'll say this. For an indie horror game, there's potential. Whether or not they can pull it off, that's to be seen. The demo itself has me intrigued enough with its atmosphere alone for me to be like, it's worth keeping an eye out on. I'm not, unlike, last week with Taxi Goes Vroom, I literally went out and bought that. It's the first demo that's been like, yes. And that's even saying something, because even Conscript, as much as Conscript I like, wasn't enough for me to go like, yes. Getting that now. So this is a very tepid, keep an eye out on it. Hopefully the devs have improved the actual game. Because demos, they may not put in a lot of effort. I can't say. There's clearly an effort put in on the demo. But maybe more effort's been put into the main game development. I can hope. And that it maybe flows smoother. Maybe a lot more effort put into the puzzle design. The puzzle being grabbing your items and putting them where they belong, clearly. Maybe there's an ability to distract the enemy. Hence why you've got a 2-hit system before you die. It's hard to say. I imagine. But who knows? It has potential to be good. And since this is the dev's first game, I'd like to give them the benefit of the doubt. It's not easy making a game. It's easier now than it's ever been. And in fact, with this is Unity, so for a Unity game to look this good, clearly some effort has been put in. And those could very well be just Unity assets from the asset store. They're using them well. If that's the case, they're using them very well. I would not have been able to notice. So there's definitely a good art style, a cohesiveness to it, I should say. Very good cohesiveness to it. And for a first-time Vietnamese developer, it's got potential. Really does. Hopefully they pull it off. I'm gonna wishlist it. Hopefully they do. But based on the music publisher's other games they've published, who knows? But for a game that's made, yeah, it's definitely worth keeping an eye on. Nothing else. Like I said, the atmosphere's perfect for that abandoned communist era concrete structure that's falling apart. And that's not that's not an atmospheric location you see a lot of. Hopefully they put in a lot of effort to the main game to make it a better product. I'll keep an eye on it. Should be out sometime this month, they say. But the music developer says the game should have been out last month, so who knows? They might have delayed it. Yeah, there's been nothing posted on the Steam page about it being delayed. So the one thing I will say, and this is the weird thing, it gives controller options in the menu. Yeah, delays happen. A delayed game could be good. A rushed game is never good. We all know that quote. It's true. But not every game that gets delayed is always good. There's always a chance. Oh, the weather was beautiful this morning. It was nice and cool. Oh, I definitely needed that. It's definitely fall up here. Suddenly went from like 80 degrees down to like 60s and low 70s. Oh, I love this weather. So yeah, the game has supposedly controller settings, but Steam was straight up telling me this is not compatible with controllers. I don't know which one to believe. I really don't know which one to believe. But, yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye out on this. There's potential. There's potential. So that's the horror origins. The horrors origins. Very generic sounding, but based on the word origins. Oh no, Environmental Station Alpha, straight up, it's a good game. I enjoyed Environmental Station Alpha a lot. In fact, there's a lot of just good things in it. The Horrors Origins has me intrigued enough to keep an eye on it. Not enough to... I probably will not purchase it, but I'm gonna keep an eye on it. It goes into the several thousand game wish list. Yeah, it could be the controller wackiness. I don't know. I didn't try. Steam just said no. Okay, I'll play with keyboard then. And it could be that the controller is actually working, but they just didn't tick a box on their end, letting Steam know that it's compatible. It could be that. Those types of things happen, especially if you're a new dev, and you're not used to the Steam back end. Whereas Environmental Station Alpha is an old plugin that broke. Who knows? Yeah, especially considering the Horrors is built in Unity. Unity supports controllers, I think, by default. So yeah. Yeah, the DualShock 4, I believe Steam has added support for a lot of the DualSense features. Not all of them. So even the PlayStation 5's DualSense is now a supported controller on Steam, mostly. God, I forgot. Looking up what the Fear games. I own all the Fear games, 1, 2, and 3. 1, Extraction Point, Perseus Mandate, 2 and 3, as well as Layers of Fear. I forgot I owned Layers of Fear. That was weird. Huh. I actually own, oddly enough, speaking of unusual inputs for controllers, I actually own an original GameCube controller. It's not a Wavebird, it's a plug-in controller, and a USB to GameCube adapter. I'm not entirely sure I still have the USB drivers for it, because they came on a cassette, on a floppy disk, of all things. But in theory, and I was doing this for a while, I would actually play games with my GameCube controller on my PC. It was a really weird time. I mean, just normal games too. I play on the GameCube controller. It was fun. It was weird. Yeah, definitely. It was an early 2000s project by somebody, because it came in this little acrylic case. It's circular, so it was a weirdly. Yeah, it was a circular. I have the adapter somewhere. I just saw it the other day. But it's a circular acrylic disc that you'd plug your USB into the one half of it, and then your GameCube into the other. So it was this weird circular clear puck that you'd plug your things into, and it adapted. It was brilliant. Nowadays, you'd probably just buy one of the USB GameCube controllers from Nintendo, and you just plug it in and it works. Now you'd probably just do that. Yeah, because that was like 2003. I bought it. It was cheap. It was surprisingly cheap, even for the time. But nowadays everything's in some way, shape, or form a USB somewhere. Either it's C or A, you know. But I think that'll be enough. That's enough of the whispering in the ears. It didn't look like the demo, from what I saw, was that much longer anyway. But, definitely, I think, worth checking out. Or at least keeping an eye on. Hopefully this game turns out good. I'll give the devs my kudos for a first game project. It's surprisingly good. Yeah, it's very clearly on some degree of a timer. So it's definitely very rhythmic. And like I said, the game had a beautiful amount of tension. So there's definitely potential for this to be some type of Outlast competitor, but indie. If they built it right. So we'll see everyone Saturday. Current plan still is 10 a.m., but I have things to do Saturday that I haven't nailed down a time for. I'll let you know on the community page, on the via community tab. If that changes, Resident Evil will be happening. If it doesn't happen Saturday, as usual, that'll get pushed to Sunday. at 2 p.m. If it happens on Sunday, it'll happen at 2 p.m. That's just standard timing. So enjoy the weather. Yeah, on the on my YouTube channel. That's how I've been posting it through there. That's where I keep been posting all the schedules and any updates that happen through the community tab on my YouTube channel. I don't know how that comes through for some people. I know it shows up on the apps in various places. So yeah, if you're wondering what I'm going to be doing, I post the schedule normally on Sundays, but at the latest it'll get posted Monday of. So yeah, YouTube's actually pretty decent about having those pop up at various points. So yeah, they show up on my YouTube mobile the same way. So yeah. So enjoy the weather if you can. If you're in, I know Marzimus, you're probably not in the regions that have been affected by Hurricane Helen, but from what I've heard, and that's fine. These are available for watching at your convenience. That's why they go up on the YouTube channel as soon as they're done in VOD form. So, I know you're probably not in an area affected, specifically Marzimus, that's been affected by Hurricane Helen that came through California. Yeah, definitely not. East Coast, I mean, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, North Carolina. Alabama probably wasn't that heavily affected. North and South Carolina have been devastated. Especially smaller cities and smaller communities up in the Appalachian Mountains. They've been pretty badly devastated. Like years of rebuilding it's gonna take. It's basically Katrina, but in the Appalachian Mountains. And I don't know how much you know about the Appalachian Mountains. That was already a severely economically depressed region of the country. I mean, terribly. I'm not East Coast. I'm actually about as far west as I can be and still be in the Eastern time zone. I'm just east of Chicago in Michigan. Yeah, North Carolina in particular was devastated. Yeah, Tennessee was another area. So, definitely east. I'm far enough away to where we don't get affected by hurricanes, but I'm far enough north to where we get winters. That can be bad. They haven't in the last couple decades, but well, last decade or so they've not been bad winters, but so yeah, enjoy the weather if you can. Fall is here, which means winter is going to be on its way in a couple of months. Yeah, I've actually never I've been to Chicago a couple of times, but I've not seen the Bean. I should probably go and see it one of these times. It's like 4 hours from me, so it's within driving distance for a couple of day trip. So yeah, stay safe, enjoy the weather. 100. We had a few of those. We had about a week of like 100 degree with humidity this summer, and it got bad. It was bad for a few days here this summer. So hopefully the weather is good and stays good. Hopefully you stay safe if you're in an affected region. Just be kind to each other. Regardless of what's going on in politics, we're all in this together, whether we like it or not. Regardless of who's in charge. We're in this together. So, stay safe. Enjoy the weather if you can.